10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, coming in wearing white trimmed with gold and weighing 210 pounds. He brings an outstanding professional record of 44 victories against 6 defeats, 28 KOs. He comes to us tonight from Raritan, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former light heavyweight champion of the world, the former cruiserweight champion of the world, two-time world champion Bobby Chappie Czyz. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, trimmed with purple and weighing 211 pounds. His professional record, also an outstanding one, 31 victories with 3 defeats, 22 KOs to his credit, fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia. In 1984, he captured bronze but deserved gold. He went on to become the undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and he won 2 world heavyweight titles. Ladies and gentlemen, he is boxing's true warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
She's second. Gentlemen, you've been given the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission. No matter what happens out here, respect each other, obey my commands, and let's keep it strictly professional. Good luck to you both.
Can't help think, Jim, that Bobby Czyz would do a better job of analyzing this fight than he will of fighting it. I think he needs Evander Holyfield's former health problem to prop up to have any kind of chance at all.
Well, conventional wisdom here is that Holyfield will simply physically steamroll Czyz. You agree, George?
Yeah, there's no such thing as an easy fight. You're professionals, you find that out early in life. Every fight is going to be tough.
Czyz, like so many other heavyweights, looking for a spot on the Tyson dance card. He said to us yesterday, "I've never had one of those 7-figure paychecks. That's why I'm still around."
Evander's going to find out early on that Czyz may not be the hardest puncher, but he can box. Got a good gravity, knows how to execute, throw a bunch of punches, keep your balance, and cover up afterwards.
Well, and he's got great technique, gets as much out of his body as anybody in the sport. Certainly knows how to punch, but he's in against a bigger, stronger man in there tonight, and already you can see the difference.
Evander has so seldom met a smaller man than him as a heavyweight that he seems to want to push Czyz around the way other fighters have tried to push him around.
That's right. Like the other fighters have made mistakes trying to push him around, he may be making a mistake. The referee warned him about an elbow, and he has a habit of throwing elbows when he can't find you.
Left hook to the body by Holyfield, who seems a little overexcited early on in the bout. Were you able to push Evander around, George?
Well, it's not a hard thing to push Evander around. He's not a big guy. No matter how strong you are, you need some weight in those legs. Doesn't have all the weight in his legs that he needs to be able to push and shove big guys.
Holyfield, whose punch output against Bo was woefully low last fall, saying to us yesterday that he trained to throw many more punches per round here.
What has happened? Everyone would feel, hey, you got to knock this guy out, otherwise you're not going to look good. And he shouldn't think like that at all. A W is a W.
Czyz has already taken some heavy shots and has not yet been wobbled.
Good, nice and clean.
It's just so unusual to look at Evander in there against a man who presents so much smaller a picture. You got to get used to it.
Now, early on, I noticed a little gray hair in Evander Holyfield's mustache. You should never let those guys see that gray hair. I shave it quick.
Yeah, but Czyz is older than he, George.
Yeah, but he's got Miss Clairol going for him.
They trade left hooks inside. Czyz is backing up most of the way here. And he backs up into the ropes again as the first round comes to an end. And Evander Holyfield lands a series of power shots down the stretch of round one. And Czyz takes them reasonably well.
Somebody put that. Let's go height here. You gotta have your hands up a little higher. Box good. Relax a little more. You're a little excited, right? Just box a little more. Relax. Relax. All for you now. Just relax a little more. Hold the hands up. You ain't got much more, Bobby. Keep moving your head. Have your hands up, okay? And stick. You ain't got much more. Don't hang in these ropes. Step out of there, okay? Step out of there. Hey, wet this. Mike, I need
That blistering combination of big punches at the end of the round, a left followed with a full-on right, two high punches left and right, a little bit of an uppercut followed by another uppercut. Whew. Whew. George, you've been in there when Evander has landed volleys of punches like that. What's it like?
Well, he's not an really hard puncher when he's coming forward. He catches you off balance with a counter shot, he'll drop you, but he hasn't done any damage just standing there like that. Because his emphasis is on speed rather than power.
Bobby Czyz makes it through his first round against a former heavyweight champion. The one-time middleweight, now campaigning in the heavyweight division, because this is where the money is. Holyfield seeming to load shots in the second round, and now he's got Czyz going. Trying to mug Bobby and get him drunk.
Bobby is throwing body punches. He comes back throwing to the body. And every time he weathers the storm, as the fight gets longer and longer, his chances grow bigger and bigger.
The only quick knockout Evander Holyfield has scored in the last 6 years was against Buster Douglas. Every other fight, that was a third-round KO. Every other fight has been 7, 10, 12 rounds. A lot of long wars. Holyfield threw 87 punches in the first round. I don't know when's the last time Evander had a punch output like 87 in a round.
That's about double his normal output in his most recent fights.
Czyz is able to do what he needs to do in that fight. He just doesn't have a big heavyweight punch. His power was greater, believe me. He could turn the tables on Holyfield tonight.
Well, I just got a piece of the information I was looking for. And the answer is the last time Evander threw that many punches, it was against Dwight Muhammad Qawi in a cruiserweight fight. He has never thrown 87 punches in a round as a heavyweight before in his career.
And that's because he's not worried about the incoming.
Might have broken Czyz's nose with that left-hand shot.
I think there was a little bit of a butt there.
Bobby might have thought he got thumbed a little bit, too, the way he was looking at it.
Keep him up, Bob.
Czyz may not have loved his dad, but let me tell you, his dad gave him some toughness. And no one can take that from him. He is tough as nails.
He's a pro. Round two coming to a close. A lot of people expected Bobby Czyz to be gone by now.
Punch him. Step back clean.
Holyfield is very effective when he can catch you throwing a right hand. He'll beat you to the punch.
Work your way out.
Open your head. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Now listen. The way we work in the gym, you got to give me one round like that. Get right in your rhythm and go to work on this guy. Stop loading up. What are you loading up for? You don't have to load up, man.
You're right.
You loading up. He's going to be right there. Bing, 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 bam!
Okay. A little water. One more. Take one deep one, let it out slow. There you go. Off the jab. Show him the jab first, babe. Hey, when you throwing?
Take a little off the bottom. Okay. What I need you to do is jab more and box more. You don't have to. I got it. Okay. Take it right there. You don't have to muscle spell. You don't have to jab now. Jabbing.
Seconds out.
Go to the body when you can.
Seconds out. Let's go. Let's go.
Hands up. Nice.
Who can blame Evander Holyfield for loading up? How many chances has he had to do that against the big guys he's been fighting?
0. He's loading up because he, like everyone else, believes that he ought to be able to knock Czyz out. Now he's trying to set him up with the jab. Goes in with the left hook. Bobby countering off the ropes.
Remember, he hasn't followed his corner's direction.
Watch your hands.
Holyfield believes he's got Czyz going here. Ron Lipton is going to give him a standing 8.
4. Go right 5. 6.
I don't know if that standing 8 is going to help Czyz at all, because all it means is he's going to have to take more punishment.
Well, it gave Bobby a good chance to argue with referee Ron Lipton about the standing 8. And you might have heard Czyz saying there to Lipton, remember what I told you in the dressing room. I have to assume that he probably told Lipton that he would be absorbing some punishment and trying to allow Evander to tire.
Now, Evander corner told him, do not load up. That's all he's doing is loading up on every shot.
And when they told him, he was saying, you're right, but he's come back out and done the same thing, hadn't he, George?
And this could really work to Bobby Czyz's advantage.
How, George?
Because Evander has got to recuperate after every big slug like that. In his career, he's had to wait till the other big guys get tired and come on. Now he's the big guy. He may get tired and Bobby Czyz started to come on.
Well, for the moment, you could see a scenario by which Czyz could last a while. What's harder to figure out is how he could win.
Exactly.
Holyfield loading shots again and landing them. Hard right hand right on the button.
And Czyz said after he took that shot, good shot. So he is announcing the fight as he fights it.
Can't resist doing the commentary.
Stop punching. Step back. Okay. Stop punching. Step back here.
And the thing about throwing a lot of heavy shots like that, when you're the bigger guy, you got to look for the oxygen a lot quicker than the smaller guy.
Crowd is kind of listless and wrung out. There was so much enthusiasm in the closing rounds of Lewis Mercer, and they haven't really risen back to that level of enthusiasm in the first few rounds of this one.
How you feel? Fine. Good. Hey, Bobby, your jab is too good. You're not using it.
nose.
You're not using the jab enough, okay? Yeah, some of those bells make my face hot. All right, give some burn my eyes. All right, put some. All right, get some on his eyes. Put some on his eyes. Check the gloves. Let me work. Hey,
With a 5-second.
Hey, ref. Check his glove. If something's burned his eyes.
Okay.
Check his glove.
You got to complain something's burning.
Now
his
here's
eyes.
the
Nothing
flurry
but gloves and
that led up to the standing 8 count. Frankly, I don't think there should have been a standing 8 count. If Holyfield is hurting his man like that and has the advantage and is setting up a possible knockout, you've got to give him an opportunity to do it, I think.
What's the matter? Let's go, man.
I think Evander thought Fan Man was landing in the ring again. Harold,
Jim, 30-26, 3 rounds to nothing, Evander Holyfield. In the scoring, a standing 8 count counts the same as a knockdown. In other words, it would be a 10-8 round in round 3 for Evander Holyfield. But I want to talk about the standing 8 count for a second. It's a tool for the referee to assess how badly a fighter is hurt. It's not really for the fighter's benefit. If Lipton thought that Bobby Czyz was seriously hurt, but he wanted to see before he stopped the fight, he calls a standing 8 count. It's for the referee's benefit primarily.
Yeah, but we're not here for the referee's benefit.
But you see, this is what prevents a fighter from getting hurt, Larry. In other words, he called the standing 8 count so he could see if he should stop the fight. That's why
you gave him a 2-point round.
In this scoring, a standing 8 count is the same as a knockdown. 3 standing 8 counts in a round in this state, the fight's over.
Keep him up.
I agree that it was a 10-8 count, but we will have to agree to disagree about whether it should have been imposed.
George, you see Evander running out of steam a little bit here in round 4?
No doubt about it. He's sitting there throwing a lot of hard shots. The greatest thing for Holyfield is that Bobby Czyz is not a real big heavyweight.
Well, of course, Holyfield wouldn't have come out and done what he's done against a big heavyweight, but he is definitely having a slower round 4 and giving chance to Czyz to get a little confidence here.
Czyz has got everything to gain and nothing to lose just by standing up for the next 2 rounds. Holyfield, to me, he's looking like, I'm scared to say it, an old fighter.
Come on. That's right.
You know, fighters age at different ages, George, as you know, and Holyfield has had such hard fights and has trained so hard for so many years that it stands to reason that he would be older at 33 than, say, Tim Witherspoon might be at 38.
Or than George Foreman at 47, maybe? That's what George is thinking.
47? Who's 47? How did that get in there?
George, I'm 47.
Oh, okay.
And that tells me that you're 47, too. Here comes Holyfield again, but this time Bobby Czyz is landing right back with him.
I think Czyz felt that Holyfield was getting a little weaker and he tried to rally, but he just doesn't have enough power to exploit this weakness in Holyfield at the moment.
As they break, Holyfield casts his gaze over here toward George Foreman and looks a little bit puzzled.
Holyfield should be standing back using his jab. That's all there is to it.
Looking ahead on HBO, we ask you to join us for a special documentary that will take you back to a time when the Olympics were a purer, simpler gathering of the world's amateur athletes. As HBO Sports presents Spirit of the Games, premiering Tuesday, June 4 at 10:15 Eastern and Pacific.
You're knocking my balance. You're knocking right into something. Okay? Hey, look. Step it up. Get this guy out of here.
All right. Step the pace up. Step the pace. Step the pace.
Drop your arm. Drop your arm.
Come on.
Hey, get this guy out of here, man.
Bobby, I want you to jam more. Move him around a little bit. You're challenging him, and that's okay. But you don't have to. Y'all boxing. You're too good to
The
box.
question here of why is Holyfield standing up between rounds? I don't recall seeing that before. Is he too tired to sit down and then get back up? What's going on? And the fact that
Terrific left hand
to
uppercut.
get him out of there suggests that they think he's tired.
Right hand uppercut, too, both on the point of the chin. Evander's landing some hard shots now as he tries to respond to Tommy Brooks's request that he go ahead and get him out of there. Czyz isn't going anywhere for the moment.
No, Czyz is fighting back, but it's merely fighting back. There's no way that he can launch the offensive right now. He's basically fighting back.
Break.
So Evander came out, flurried here in the 5th round, landed a series of hard shots, and there's Czyz right in front of him, and now the crowd begins to warm to the occasion, and we get the chant of Bobby, Bobby, Bobby.
Holyfield should use the advantage of the left jab. Stop trying to play the big puncher. That's never paid off for him. He did it with Bert Cooper. He was on the canvas almost.
Yep.
Stand up,
trouble.
box, made you a hero, keep box.
When he got the early knockout against Buster Douglas, it was an opportunity counter shot. He was boxing Douglas to that point.
That's right. So you got to keep your jab going and box. And Holyfield has never been in a fight that wasn't exciting.
Watch your heads.
And this one is starting to get a little bit more exciting than Evander would like it to be. He backs Czyz up into the ropes again. Evander's been very effective when Bobby Czyz has been pinned against the ropes.
Bobby's fought a great fight, but with the true difference in the weight, this is truly not a heavyweight. You can't expect that much from him.
But you heard Larry Merchant asking, why was Evander Holyfield standing between rounds? Let's go to Larry as he tries to get an answer to that question.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Tommy Parks. I'm sorry.
Tommy Brooks.
Donald, would you tell us what's going on with Evander? Why did he stand up between rounds? Is he getting tired?
No, he just wants to stand up. He said he didn't want to sit down.
You read him.
Do you think he is okay now?
Yeah, he's okay.
Why is he having a hard time getting rid of Czyz?
I don't know. Czyz is a very smart fighter. He had him out in the first round. He got him out now.
Thank you.
Holyfield could just step back and be a little more accurate. He can get a knockout.
Drop the hands, baby. Drop the hands.
Where'd you cut?
Right there. Right there.
Okay. No, it's all right. You're all right.
Up top. See
I got it. It's all right, okay? Now
Hey,
watch
look.
his head.
Good, Holy. Good, Holy. Got it.
Close your eyes.
do when you get the guy on the road? Call stop the fight. He can't see anymore. He got
Wait,
someone
Marco, take a look.
Just stop the fight. He can't see anymore. Come on. I don't want him hurt. Stop the fight. So come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. I said your eyes. Let me do it. Yours. It's your eyes. Do it to me. If I say it's your eyes, that's what it is. You ain't fighting anymore. I ain't coming out. It's fucking eyes.
It appears that Bobby Czyz has agreed with his trainer not to go on.
Come on, I know. We want to see what's wrong with his
Why
eye.
you at least take me out
We're
later?
going to examine those
We
gloves.
ain't gonna fight.
No, we examine those gloves.
Go examine him. We're not
He
fighting.
has something in his eye. He's saying there's a liniment in his eye.
Burning like crazy. Burning like crazy. Let the man look. Both sides. Let the man look.
Sometimes you got to listen to your chief corner man.
Burn all day.
Yeah, Czyz is complaining that he has a burning sensation in his eyes.
And all right, he can't stop.
Shades of Cassius Clay versus Sonny Liston in Miami Beach.
Czyz really want to go on, but his trainer doesn't want the fight to go forward.
I can't imagine what that could possibly be, whether it's some ointment. Is there some liniment that it could have come down in his eyes?
His trainer wanted the fight to stop.
Yeah,
he
but-
looked for any excuse, and he got it.
But Czyz said very clearly, George, my eyes are burning. Harold, could it be a liniment that trickled down into his eyes?
Larry, the rules of boxing are very clear. You can't use liniment. The only thing you can use on the body of a fighter is a small amount of Vaseline and water. That's it. Liniment is absolutely not allowed. If Evander Holyfield had liniment on his body and he was rubbing it on his gloves and it went in Bobby Czyz's eye, the State Athletic Commission definitely has grounds, to overturn this decision. But I'll tell you the honest truth. I mean, I don't think that he was doing such a thing because he knows enough not to use liniment in all the years he's been fighting. But it's strictly prohibited.
Well, for the moment, you've got a technical knockout for Holyfield, a stoppage after the 5th round. And Tommy Parks, Bobby Czyz's trainer, is surely going to lodge a protest claiming that Czyz was illegally fouled by a substance on Holyfield's gloves, which got into Czyz's eyes and caused them to sting, ultimately to close. And you know that Ron Lipton, the referee, at one point went to Holyfield's corner and checked the gloves, checked Holyfield's body. Apparently has not found any substance that he could cite as the culprit so far. And that's going to be the end of what was a spirited effort by Holyfield to knock Czyz out. A spirited effort that was keeping Czyz on his feet and in the bout. And I think Evander had probably won all 5 rounds up to that point, including one of them as a 2-point round. And let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official and to the crowd, no doubt disappointing particulars on this one.
Referee Ron Lipton, after being informed by Bobby Czyz that he is unable to continue at the end of round 5, calls a halt to the bout. The winner by technical knockout, he is boxing's true warrior, the former undisputed world heavyweight champion, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
I've got the judges' scorecards here in my hand, and
a round of applause, please.
One judge, Lathan, had given Bobby Czyz the 4th round, and another judge, Eva Shane, gave Bobby Czyz the 2nd round. But by and large, Holyfield won every other round, and as you could see, was leading on all 3 judges' cards by a relatively comfortable margin to this point. On all 3 cards, he won the 3rd round 10-8. No, check it. Judge Eva Shane called that a 1-point round by the standing 8-count Harold to make it a 2-point round. And let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with referee Ron Lipton first.
Ron, would you explain to us what happened at the end of the fight, and what did you do to determine whether, in fact, some foreign substance got into Bobby Czyz's eyes?
Well, both Bobby Czyz and his very experienced corner, Tommy Parks, have been in boxing a long time, and they claimed that there was a foreign substance in both his eyes, and he could not see. And I know Evander Holyfield's corner is very experienced, and they're clean fighters. I went over to the corner, and I rubbed my hand on his chest and on the gloves, and I rubbed it in my own eye. I couldn't detect any odor, but I didn't stop at that. I rubbed it in both my eyes. You'll see on the film that I checked it because, you know, I respect their corner, and I respect both fighters. So I checked it out, and I could not find any substance that would reveal that. I also asked the inspector to check it, and there was nothing that we could detect as far as an odor or a burning. But I followed the wishes of the fighter and the corner man, and they were inside.
All right, Bobby, what were you experiencing, and when did it start?
Well, Evander was naturally strong. I expected that. I expected to have to weather the storm for 4 or 5 rounds and then come out and do what I could. Maybe it would make him overwork. But starting in the 3rd round, my eyes started to burn. And I think anything other, I thought maybe I just got caught 1 or 2 good brazy shots. But then my nose and my lips started to burn. And my eyes are killing me right now. I went back and told Tommy. He said, maybe you got something in it, but it got a little worse as the rounds went on. And I don't know what it is. I mean, Evander in my eyes is beyond reproach. But there are other people involved. I just like a lab to test it, and I have no problem with it. He's a great fighter. I know as a big underdog, I was taking my shot, but I mean, I have to fight him and his skill and his power and having my eyes burn like there's no tomorrow. I feel like we got a match on my face.
Could it possibly have simply been salt from sweat getting into your eyes?
I've boxed for 24 years. I know the difference between a little bit of salt in your eye, a little mini sting, and a serious burn. My eyes are burned. I can't stop blinking.
And you never had experienced anything like that before?
Yeah, once before, and somebody did gouge me with something. That's why I know the feeling.
All right, thank you for a brave fight, Bobby.
I tip my hat to Evander. He's a great fighter. That's why I wanted to fight him. I'm one of his biggest fans, and I was doing my best. I didn't come here to take a payday. I came here to win. Unfortunately, things didn't work out.
All right, Evander, what is your response to all of this hullabaloo at the end of the fight?
Well, you know, my whole thing is that, you know, I can't say his eyes ain't burning, but I know I don't have anything to burn his eyes. So.
Somebody told me in your corner that all they used on you was Vaseline. Is that what your experience was?
Yes.
And where the Vaseline where? Around your eyes?
The face and my chest.
Well, you've been around boxing for a very long time. Do you have any theory?
Man, I love you, man.
Do you have any theory on what it possibly could be?
Well, you know, I understand that sometimes your corner get something in your own eye too. My whole thing is that my eyes have burned before, cause my corner man put grease in my eye, my corner man fixing the cut, and some got my eyes. And things like that could happen.
All right, tell us about the fight Was he a little tougher than you thought? Because you landed some of your best shots on him.
Well, you know, the thing is that I got overexcited. I found myself trying to knock him out because he was smaller.
Finally seeing a guy opposite you who was smaller instead of bigger.
Well, yes, you know, he was getting on, and I was just too anxious. I was trying to load up and hit him with the big shot, you know, and as I came to the corner, Don and Tommy was telling me, you need to just take your time. You too excited.
Why were you standing before the last 2 rounds? Were you tired? Did you feel any fatigue coming on?
No, my only thing, I felt that what was happening is that I'm used to working harder than when I was in the ring, and sitting down when I was just getting too much rest, and I realized I need to try to keep the upbeat so I can get my rhythm together.
All right, just quickly, Evander, what do you see for your future now?
Well, I'm hoping for a title fight. The long breaks and things like that kind of make you anticipate, and you come out here and they put you against a guy like Bobby Czyz, and you come out and you want to blast him out early, and he do the little simple things, getting on you, make you miss shots. And, you know, his punching power wasn't much, and I stood there, and all I wanted was one clear shot instead of just doing what I was told to do and what I trained for, to throw a volume of punches.
All right, thank you very much, Evander. I'm sure we'll see you again. Back to you at ringside.
Final punch stat numbers in 5 rounds of Holyfield Czyz, and you can see that Evander landed 53% of his punches. But hey, what about Czyz? Threw 317, landed 112. He was ridiculed by a lot of people, George, for seeking and getting this shot, and I thought he gave a pretty creditable account of himself in there.
I thought he did a lot better than everybody said he would do. As a matter of fact, his trainer, it was his desire to stop that fight, and he just chose that excuse. But Czyz was getting hit a lot of punches that he shouldn't have been getting hit with, but he did a lot better than I would have thought he would have done.
What do you see in Evander's future off of what he did here tonight?
Well, like I say, it's all up to Hollywood. Let's write scripts for fighters to get out of this stuff.
And you would like to see Evander Holyfield choose to short-circuit his career?
No, really, I want to see a Hollywood script. Okay. How's that?
I'll come up with the script, and you keep thinking about this.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, George. Larry Merchant, your final comments on the third fight in our heavyweight triple header, Evander Holyfield versus Bobby Czyz.
Well, I thought that this being the 25th anniversary year of Ollie and Fraser in this very building, that it seemed a little bit weird that we would come up with this kind of controversial close to really what was a great